Hey world, good evening. It is another successful day. Um, so the advantage of being a single father of three in the middle of nowhere and having nobody around is I have time to do stuff like this. My kids are my life and my businesses and friends, and that's it. I mean, I get to come on here and share and be present, right, for whoever needs to hear it or wants to listen at some point. Um, Today was a very interesting day, right? It was the first day in years. I mean, years, at least a decade, probably longer. I mean, probably 12 or 13 years that I woke up in complete peace, right? When I woke up at whatever time it was, 4:30, I think, um, I had no anything, right? I had no negative, no positive, no influence from either side. And it was just an amazing way to wake up. It was it was unreal, right? No matter what the day threw at me, I carried that forward for most of the day. I had some times that, a couple down moments. I mean, I think that's normal with everything processing and everything I'm going through. Um, there was a lot of emotional stuff these last 3 to 4 weeks, right? I've been doing a lot of deep, serious work on myself, and it's been adding up on me. It really just it crushed me in so many ways. My insecurities, my fears, they all started coming to the surface because I was dealing with issues, deep, deep rooted issues that I've had for so long. Um, and then I had a great meeting this morning, and I got centered again, and it was such a great way to start my day. Um, eh, there were so many times today that there was down moments, and I just put my phone down, put it on silent, ignored it, and spent time with my kids. It was, I mean, granted, I did 7 loads of laundry today, uh, so that was entertaining, right? The house is kind of a mess right now, but that's okay because the kids are in bed. They're all safe. They did all their work. They did all their schoolwork. They ate 3 times. I ate 3 times, which doesn't seem to happen these days because I'm too busy. I just don't think about it all the time. Um, as my mind's changing, my body is definitely changing also. And it's this process to where I don't want the negative around me. I don't want the negativity inside me or near me, or, I'm creating this bubble, right? A big eye opener today was that I realized that the last few weeks, my spiritual side has been sacrificing, and I got away from that. I respect all religions. I just don't have one. I'm very spiritual. I believe in God and all those things. But I just, I realized this morning that that's one of the things I was missing, and I was actually praying last night and I was meditating last night. It was the most peaceful, serene thing I've done in a very long time. No matter what circumstance was, no matter what the situation was, no matter what the answer could have been to any circumstance I'm going through, I was prepared for it, right? And I was ready for it because I've been, putting tools into practice and really doing my best. I did a video today about, being judgment free, or, judgment's an internal job. I think I'm finally grasping the concept of not judging myself. And that's a huge one for me because I was so hypercritical of myself my whole life. Maybe because of what I went through as a kid, maybe because of what I continued to go through as a young adult. No matter what it was, you know, I went through these things and I started being hyper super critical on myself. And at the end of the day, that's not a solution. I understand the tendency and I understand the habit, but now I'm starting to see the warning signs, and I have happy triggers, right? Like I'll put on my headphones and I'll just listen to music, and wander around and clean because to me that's a great brainless activity. And with 3 kids running around, I don't have a choice, so I might as well. Um, cooking, cleaning, doing mundane things that doesn't really take a thought process. I really find enjoyment in those because it gives my mind a break. People can zone out in TV, they can do these things, they can do those things. For me, it comes down to just doing the simple things, the little things, right? The nuances. Um, I love the nuances. I love the tiny little things that most people don't notice. I find peace in that. I really do. Um, there are times that it gets me in trouble as well, right? It's one of those things that I pick up on every detail. So at times it gets annoying to people, and it really it offends them. So what I've also been learning is not to share those details, even with them, just because I don't need the chaos. I don't want the chaos anymore. My whole life has been chaos. I don't want it. I choose not to have it anymore. I would rather not say a word to somebody and just suck it up and let them spew or spill or whatever they want to do all over me. But I just have no interest. The chaos has been eating me alive my whole life, and I've made this conscious decision, and I'm going to put a lot of work into sticking to it. Right? It's with the way the way I've lived my life the first 41 years. Sometimes with my abandonment issues, my lack of self worth, my insecurities, my fears, they creep up at times, and they can drive certain reactions, decisions. Um, I also sometimes don't slow down enough to grasp the details in everyday conversations, right? Especially in reading comprehension. Um, I'm a audiological learner and listener, so when it comes to speaking to somebody on the phone, I hear every word, every detail. When it comes to typing and reading notes and reading emails and reading those things, sometimes I really missed some details, right? And again, it happened to me today, and that's fine. I apologized and grabbed it, and it's fine. Um, uh, hey, Kenny, how are you doing, bud? uh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. My t-shirts are for a win here, so that's good. Um, as I'm taking these steps forward, I think one thing that I definitely need to do is I need to keep a little bit of the overly emotional times out. But what I don't want to do is keep the down times out because I do realize that with my current circumstance, they could be used against me. But I also want to share the real journey. The real journey is ups and downs. The real journey is getting to those deep rooted issues and to sharing it because for me, sharing it is the best way. Video is the best way. Writing and those things. Yeah, I mean, I've been writing and I've been journaling and I've been, doing gratitude lists and all these different things, and that's great, right? And I can understand why it helps certain people. But because I'm such an audiological person and my emotions carry through my words, right? I'm exhausted right now, by the way. That I feel like for me, video is best. Then I have a great photogenic face. I mean, who are we kidding? Just kidding. Um, but it's at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna do me, and I can't worry about the crazy details, the details that are out of my control. If somebody wants to look down on me for working on myself and working out issues that I've had my whole life, then so be it, right? Somebody wants to judge me for a mistake I make, then let them. Somebody wants to hold a mistake against me, that's on them. I can't control that, right? I can't control how somebody acts towards me or reacts to me. I can only control myself, uh, do my best to make amends for the mistake, explain the mistake, own it, and let it be whatever it is. Just just allow it to breathe, allow it to just, the reality is if somebody or something means that much to you and you make a mistake and you own it and you own it, then I feel like it will work itself out however it's meant to. And I'm okay with that today. I'm learning to be with myself. I'm learning to, take that pause and take that time to myself and not always have to be focused on someone else or something else. Not creating a new business because I'm bored, right? Because I've historically done that many times. It's funny, tomorrow I have a talk tomorrow morning. I don't know what time, 10 a.m. Eastern, I think. Oh, no, Central, 10 a.m. Central. And it's about hope and kindness. And the topic I chose to speak on was how hope is free, right? And when I look back at my life and I look at certain circumstances and instances, and I didn't value myself, but I've always found a way to overcome it, right? So I have these intrinsic skills and I really have hope. I've always had hope. I've always had a belief in myself to some capacity, maybe not full heartedly, maybe not as a whole individual at that point, but I've always had that belief. You know, I've always found a way to overcome, get out of positions, situations, and circumstances. I mean, you know, my circumstance sucks, but it's okay because I'm turning it into a positive. I'm working on myself. I'm spending a ton of time with my kids. That even if I was able to take them home, right, and with the craziness in the world today, I wouldn't be able to spend the time that I'm getting with them right now. The positives are enormous, right? And I love doing these lives because it makes me feel that I'm not alone. Um, which I know I'm not alone, right? Because of my spiritual beliefs and everything else. I know I'm not. But there's times where this isolation situation that I'm in, whether it's COVID forced or not, I'm still in isolation. Um, it gets lonely, right? It really eats at you a little bit at times. You know, I mean, I guess having the three kids and me being the adult, it gives me an opportunity to really focus on them and spend time with them. But I have no free time, no adult time. I don't get a break. I don't get 30 minutes to do what I want. I don't get to walk away and come back, right? I don't get those things. So sometimes I rely on people or circumstances, and in a way, I think it's somewhat healthy, but I also understand that depending on the situation and circumstance of the other person, I could also see where it could be unhealthy for them and unfair to them. Um, but again, things are good when they're good, and when they're not, right? Like when it's convenient, it's great. When the convenience isn't there as much anymore, then things don't seem to matter as much. Um, you know, it's it really is amazing, right? Like the more I think about life and the more I think about where I'm at, where I'm going, where I came from, how much I've changed in these last 6 months from all the way down to the gutter depressed to finding a person who changed the trajectory of my life. And I hope that I had some type of impact on that person in a positive way. And then from there, just starting to find my people, right? Because I started looking at things differently. And when I flipped that 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 switch in my head, and I started waking up again, and I spiritually started, focusing on myself and rebuilding myself. Like the right people find you. You don't need to force it. Forcing it doesn't work. Fighting for something that isn't going to happen or isn't going to work is pointless. And wasting that energy when you could be focusing on yourself and rebuilding yourself and putting that time in is really is almost a waste, right? And not that the person or doing those things is a waste, but if it's a circumstance that can't be overcome, then the reality needs to be that you need to pull back. You need to focus that energy elsewhere. Focus that energy on yourself. Um, and that's not always easy to do. Like I have a habit of going to extremes. My whole life, it's always been extremes. I go full board this, full board that, full board this. I'm finally understanding that balance, and I'm finally grasping what it means. Now, granted, I'm only a couple weeks in, so you know, let's just take it a little easy on that grasping and putting into practice. But I don't see a reason to stop. I'm happy with where I'm at today. I've done my best today, and that's all I can do. I did my best yesterday. Hopefully today I was a little better than yesterday. And it's just that baby steps forward, that slow growth over time. And I feel very content and happy today. There was many lessons, so many lessons today. I finally absorbed lessons that I've been learning, and it finally sunk in fully. Um, I was living my life for someone else or something else. And today I decided that I'm living it for me. And I'm okay with that. Whether it's as simple as I want to shave again, whether it's as simple as I just want to be at peace, whether it's as simple as, I'm not going to let anything affect that peace right now. I just, I don't want the chaos. The world is in chaos. I don't need to be in chaos. If being an empath, I'm absorbing all this external stuff all day long. So why would I want my internal stuff to match? Right? And that's where I think that my spiritual imbalance was really kicking me in the butt the last few weeks. Like I was very balanced a few weeks ago, and then it just started, like the emotions started taking over, the thought processes started taking over, and it was just switch that flipped, and I started acting very out of character. I started acting very unlike myself, and I made mistakes, and that's fine. I own that, and I took responsibility, and I'll continue to take responsibility as long as I have to. Um, but there's so much to life that if we get caught up on those little things, it's great to notice the nuances. It's great to see those. But if we really get hung up on them, then we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to others, and that's not fair either, right? I think part of this journey is learning. Well, one, definitely learning to be at peace with myself. Definitely learning that I'm never alone. Definitely learning how to be alone. That's part of it. That's a big part of it, right? Um, but also that I need to focus my energy on me. And it's easier to do because, hey, there's no one around. Me and I think there's a donkey down the street. I have two neighbors, but it's not really a real friendship. It's just, it is what it is, right? It's, the life is so fulfilling within itself if you allow it to be. And I'm finally starting to acknowledge and see that. Um, this, every day I get a little bit stronger. I get a little bit more understanding, more compassionate. As far as judgment goes, I'm getting a little bit more clear on that, and I'm not beating myself up or being hypercritical on myself anywhere near as much. Um, and I'm learning. I'm really just learning. I'm retraining 41 years of chaos. And that's okay, right? There was going to be some kickback in the beginning. There was going to be some, emotional swings and everything else. And I'll still have the emotional swings as I'm processing a lot of this stuff. But I do feel like over time, those will balance themselves out. And as long as I can continue to align my spiritual, mental, and emotional, then and physical, right? Because physical I'm also working on. So I guess that's a big part of it as well. But as long as I can keep balancing that all out and just baby step it all at the same time, then I'm what's the downside, right? Like there is none. No matter what it is, I'm making that progress. Outside things and outside situations and outside people, no matter who they are, sometimes people come and go, and you just got to let it be. Whatever it is, like there's people that I never want to lose, and there's people that, I've pushed away that I didn't want to lose ever, and I really don't want to. But it's not up to me. At the end of the day, I can only control my side, and that's only half of it. That's where life gets tricky, right? When you start involving other people, other situations, other circumstances, just like when you're comparing two jobs or two job offers, when you're looking at these things and you're balancing it and, looking at pluses and minuses, looking at, you know, what's my value there? Am I really a net positive in that circumstance for whatever the situation is, job, anything? If you're not a net positive, how long are you going to keep that job anyway? Right? I mean, you're better off going with something you can get passionate about, because if you're passionate about, you're always going to be a net positive. There's times in life where you just need to let it be. And I'm learning that. You need to take that pause, that step back and just observe where you're at in the landscape. Um, and I'm starting to see that a little bit more. I feel so much calmer tonight. I'm also tired. I haven't drank enough. I haven't really drank a lot of coffee today, I think. Not even a full pot. So, and actually much less than a full pot. But I'm coming off coffee mostly. I really am. I'm really tired of drinking it. Little by little, I'm just getting rid of things I don't want anymore. Um, I'm just cleaning my life and cleaning my body and cleaning my mind and cleaning my spirit, and eventually I'll be a full real boy. Now, I feel I say that a lot, don't I? I feel I have a lot of feelings these days. 41 years of never identifying them. Now it's like they don't stop. Um, Today was a really good day, and I am very happy today. I'm very proud of myself. Um, and my kids had a good day, and they did their work, and everything got done. They bathed. I did a ton of laundry. Everything got done, other than the cleaning the house, and I'll worry about that tomorrow morning. But I'm gonna let you guys go. It's Friday night, and I'm sure, other than Kenny, my buddy, most people, you know, are busy. So I will be in solitude. And thank you so much for watching whenever you get a chance. And if you ever need anything, just reach out. I appreciate it. Have an amazing night.